Hi, everyone. Welcome to How to Deliver a High-Value Cash Flow Management Service. My name is Jeff Bourgeois, and I'm going to walk you through how I've helped many accountants help their clients by having conversations about cash flow. Now, this isn't one of those sit back and relax webinars. This is a practical how-to. So we're going to give you step-by-step what you need to do. And today you're going to learn, I think the number one skill is how to speak to your clients about cash flow. It is critical. They need help now more than ever. I'll show you how to create a high-value cash flow management service, and we'll focus on creating basic budgets for existing clients. And then once we get through the meat of the cash flow, how to offer it, I'm going to show you how to build a key strategic partner plan. And the idea is, let's have a network that brings you clients. And I guarantee if you talk about cash flow, you will bring in clients through a network. So we'll talk about how to build that. So let's jump in. Now you will have access to all of these documents. The first document is the Cash Flow Management Service Blueprint. And this has two parts. The first is the collateral for actually offering the service. And then the second is a blueprint for you on how to create and start promoting your cash flow service. So you'll see there's a few documents linked into this document. And basically, we'll start with the welcome letter, and I'll walk you through the 10 steps. So you can see this is a 10-step program. So the first is the welcome letter. So this is where you want to start. And you want to create something like this. So we'll just let that load up here. And this is a letter that I've written to the accountants in the world. And this is just an overview of where to start. So just go through, read the welcome letter. I'm not going to spend any time on it because it's meant to give you some guidance. The other thing I've created for your benefit is there's a workbook on how to do this in detail. So you don't need to take a lot of notes in the next hour or so we're going to spend together. But as you can see, I've put together everything I think that you need in order to deliver cash flow. So there's an action plan, there's a blueprint, lots of room for notes, a bit of a diagnostic, and some recommended reading. The video list, you can ignore that because I'm replacing that with this video. All right. Now, the first thing, we have a 5-part email sequence, and you can do one of two things with this. One, you can send it out to all of your existing clients. And if you do, you have to customize it a little, which we'll talk through here. But basically, the intent of this is most accounting firms haven't talked to their clients about cash flow. It's a brand new conversation, so it might feel a little strange or foreign to just jump in and say, hey, let's talk about cash flow. So first use, you can send this out as an email series. And basically, to customize it, the first one is about you. So you want to edit this and put your firm name in. And all of these resources, the templates and stuff, you can download within the course portal. So the first thing is we want to remind them, here's what we traditionally have done for you. And edit this so that it feels like your language. You don't want to just use my language, but edit it so it sounds like it comes from you. And basically, the gist of it is you're letting them know we're going to send out a 5-part email series. And the 5 parts are obviously this introduction. And then the second part is why cash flow management is critical. We want to share that for the small business clients. Then we're going to share common cash flow management mistakes because we want to help people avoid those mistakes. And then the 4th email, we're going to share best practices for managing cash flow. And then The fifth and final one is some myths around cash flow management. And so try to keep this as intact as possible, but obviously, like I said, edit it so it sounds like you. And you can use your favorite autoresponder. If you don't have some way of sending out an email to all of your clients at once, I recommend you have one. The easiest, cheapest, fastest to use is MailChimp. So if you don't have one, MailChimp is free up to 2,000 emails a month. I think it is something like that. So you want to get a good service that makes it really easy to send out good quality emails. So set up email 1 is your firm introduction, as I said. And then I've got the scripts for all 5 emails. You just need to queue them up and set them up to go out. And basically the call to action is you want your clients to call you and talk to you about cash flow. Now, the biggest thing I would say in terms of timing, you don't want to bombard people, but I would normally send these out once a week. So if you send email number 1 on a Monday, send every other email, set it up so they go out on a Monday as well. So you want a cadence, you want some consistency. And the idea is to show your clients that you're now open to having conversations about cash flow. So it's a 5-part email sequence. Customize it to your language. And the way I recommend it is send it to your best clients first over 5 consecutive weeks. And then once you've gotten some feedback from your best clients, give them first chance at it. And I would even put something in saying, we're doing this just for our best clients now. And maybe you're not ready to do it today, to do cash flow today, but send out the email today and say, hey, we're looking to launch this May 1st or whatever, but give them a heads up that cash flow is important and you want to have that conversation. Now, we've got some other tools, but for our purposes today, we're going to cover just this really simple cash flow diagnostic. And basically, this is meant to be a conversation starter. Nothing else. So you can customize this. You can take my logo off. But basically, this is a conversation starter. So it's meant to be discussed between you and a client. Some accountants make the mistake. They'll mail this out to everybody they know and say, hey, please complete this and send it back. The problem is that becomes another piece of paperwork that some busy entrepreneur has to process. Whereas when you talk to them, if you could just arrange, say, hey, can we have a 15-minute phone call? And basically you want to walk through and ask them these questions. You might actually know the answers to a lot of these yourself, but have the conversation and say, dear client, I just want to have a chat with you. We're really keen to help our clients. We want to understand their cash flow needs. We're doing a little survey. Would you mind taking 15 minutes to chat with me about cash flow? And I promise you, there's nothing more important in your client's mind than how do I pay the bills? How do I ensure my cash flow is coming in as quickly as I need it to, going out as slowly as possible, and quite frankly, just optimized for the business. And this is not an in-depth complete survey. There's exactly 11 questions. And basically what we're doing is the ones all represent lower risk, twos represent medium risk, threes represent high risk. So you're just circling them. You're going to give them a score. And basically anything that they list as a 3, that's something you want to triage and make it the first problem you solve. So if they're getting, for example, the question is, how do your customers pay you? And the answer to 3 is paid on account over 60 days. How could you help them increase their speed of collection? So reduce total days in receivables. So this is just meant to be a tool. And by the way, if all of the answers come back as a 1 and it's low risk, I would ask them, is there anything about the cash flow in your business you'd like to work on? I've had some accountants, their clients come back, circled all ones. They say, obviously, there's nothing I can do to help them. But the client actually wanted to talk about cash flow. So don't negate it and say, well, you got all ones, you're good. Say, how could we help you improve? And a fair assessment is you've scored a low risk on our little assessment. Which areas would you like to go deeper on?